Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix released last week, and with it came a throwback meta and an absolutely packed tournament schedule, with 4 solo victory cups happening within this season. Even though the meta will be changing slightly throughout the season, it's expected the fundamentals will stay largely the same. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the best loadout to carry in solo victory cups this season for both opens and finals. So, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into it. If you want to know how to fight no matter the meta, you need to get the Fortnite Fighting Masterclass. For just $30, you can get access to over 150 videos from all of the best pros, like Muzz, Reet and Bolts, teaching you how to fight from the basics to the most advanced tips, as well as videos from the best solo coach in the world, Destiny's Jesus. Click the top link in the description to find out more. So, starting off with shotguns. Obviously this season we've only got 2 shotguns, the pump and the tac. And for the first time in 3 seasons, one shotgun is not definitively better than the other, meaning the choice between them is personal preference. If you want a fast firing shotgun which is easier to hit with, so maybe if your aim isn't your best quality, pick the tac, but if you want a hard hitting shotgun and you're confident in your aim, pick the pump. Moving on to your secondary weapon, and this is where it gets a bit more interesting. At the time of writing this video, you have 4 choices: the regular AR, the burst AR, the drum gun and the SMG. Now obviously the best secondary weapon overall here is the regular AR, because it does enough damage at close range while being really accurate at further distances. However, some of the other guns do have their use cases where they might be better. This is not the case for the burst AR though, which is basically just shit this season. It does basically no damage and shoots ridiculously slowly, so never pick this gun up. The blue and green drum guns are decent and could be viable when keying, because they do have a much faster fire rate than the regular ARs, but you couldn't run them in finals because they're terrible at long range. However, if you manage to get your hands on Snoop's drum gun, you should definitely run it, because it's a reskin of the really OP Midas drum gun from Chapter 2 Season 2, meaning it has a high fire rate and really good damage. The SMG is an interesting one. No rarity of SMG is worth running in finals because you need to be able to do damage at range, but if you're keying in opens, running the purple or gold SMG might be worth it. It has a really fast fire rate with good damage, meaning it's really good for fighting. So, now talking about utility and mobility. Even though there's loads of utility in pubs and ranked, RPGs, explosives and heavy snipers are all vaulted in comp, or they're meant to be, so the only real choice for any sort of utility items are a grappler, harpoon gun, crash pads and boogie bombs. Although crash pads have been a really powerful rotation item in the past, they're now only dropped in stacks of 1, and you can't run onto them like you could with crash pad juniors, so they don't send you as far either. A harpoon gun is a decent choice, because it means you can get into boxes easily when the other player isn't expecting it, and harpoon loot in endgame, which can be really powerful. Boogie bombs are also ridiculously OP, because they mean the other player can't shoot you for 5 seconds, allowing you to basically full box and guarantee kill them. Saying all of this, the grapple is by far the best utility item to carry, simply because of how good it is as a rotation item. Unlike the grapplers we've had in the past, this one has 20 charges, which means that, when used correctly, it can be conserved to be used for the whole game. This means that it's the best thing to carry in opens for keying, as well as it being an integral item to carry in finals. Another really powerful use for the grappler is to take height in endgame. It's really easy to grapple up on height, and if the height player is unaware, you can just pump them to force them off height or easily win a fight for height. This does mean, however, when you're playing high ground in solo victory cups, you need to be aware that you can just be grappled up on at any point. In this section, I'd also like to talk about Ice Spice's grappler, which will be coming to the game soon when a POI is added. Even though this grapple will have infinite charges, I don't think it's going to be worth getting the ice effect every time you grapple, because this is going to be really difficult to deal with in endgame, and especially if you're using it to take height, there's a high chance you just slide off high ground and die. The shockwave launcher is also rumoured to be returning to the game this season, and I think this is probably worth carrying over the grapple, because it gives you the ability to easily exploit into boxes, rotate basically wherever you want in endgame, and if you're on height, especially in finals, it's so overpowered, because you can just shockwave all the low ground players into storm, so they die and you get the free win. For this reason though, I wouldn't be surprised to see Epic keep this item out of competitive altogether. Moving on to heals, which is possibly the most important topic of this video in regards to finals specifically. Now, meds is an interesting topic, because there aren't really any this season, so it might just end up being whatever you can find, but these are the optimal loadouts. In opens, when keying, the best meds you can carry are bigs and minis, or even better, minis and slurpfish, which you can get from harpoon fishing or from a vending machine. And when you're not keying, you should probably be carrying bigs or minis and some whites, whether that be floppers, medkits or slurpfish. Then in finals, you should be carrying either bigs or minis, basically whichever you can find the most of, and medkits. Then once you've got past moving zones, you can drop your shields for extra whites to prepare for heal off. It's not impossible for you to carry a single gun loadout with attack and then hold an extra stack of whites, so floppers or medkits, but I wouldn't recommend this, because it can make playing the game significantly more difficult. A point that is worth making regarding finals is the fact that, this season, it is slightly less likely to go to heal off, due to the fact that meds are much harder to find. But the re-addition of harpoons means more players may use fishing to get meds, so preparing for heal off is still how you're going to give yourself the best chance of winning. So, I hope you've taken something from that video to help you on the solo victory cups this season. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.